Fantasy Footballers Sunday Live.
Wow, we're here. Another week of football. Welcome in. I'm Andy Holloway, Sunday Live, Week 7. No, I'm not Mike. But Mike is fine, everybody. When I said I was doing Sunday Live this week, I saw 95% of people wanting to make sure Mike and his puppy were in good hands. I am happy to report Mike is well. He is with his family. They did a quick weekend vacation. So I volunteered to step in, and then his puppy is good. The puppy, through the surgery, everything's going well. He wanted me to relay to you that everything is fine. And yes, thank you. I am joined by Brooks. He is in Deucer's Alley on the ones and twos today.
Heyo.
And we got some fun stuff to talk about. All your start-sit questions. I see the chat. It looks like the chat that I've come to know and love. Lots of questions. And then what did Mario said, Andy Holloway eats people. So I don't know what that means. But that sounds about right for a Sunday morning. Brooksy, you want to get into it?
Let's do it.
The big picture.
All right. To me, the headline's going to be this Rams backfield situation, but I want to go through all the inactives, actives for the week. At the quarterback position, we have Deshaun Watson making his return. So Deshaun Watson's going to play. This is good news if you want to see the Cleveland offense function at a high level. I mean, Amari Cooper, managers are rejoicing at the return of Deshaun Watson, and hopefully you see a good performance out of him today. It gives everybody a little bit of a bump up. And, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Cleveland's favored. So that should be a good one. Daniel Jones is out. Justin Fields is out. So, Bilbo, you ready for Bilbo, Brooksy?
Who is it?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Tyler Bagent, the quarterback for the Bears this week, who is going to be required to supply some fantasy value to DJ Moore.
Oh, do you mean Tyson? I think he said Tyler.
Did I say Tyler?
Yeah,
so I can't even get his first name right.
Tyson.
Tyson Bagent.
Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins. Thank you. But that's a tough situation. If you're playing the defense, the Raiders have been good. The Bears, it's hard to expect a lot out of that situation. Jimmy Garoppolo is out, but it has been reported he should be back for next week's game, which I think is a Monday Night Football game. So Brian Hoyer will start today. The running backs is where it's at, Brooksy. We've got question marks. The big one, there's really two. One is the Christian McCaffrey situation. You got a Monday Night Football game. Vikings, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey been banged up. We got the news yesterday that Deebo Samuel's out. He's going to miss a couple weeks, has some sort of, I believe, a slight fracture in the shoulder. And so you're not going to have Deebo out there. So fire up your Brandon Ayuk. George Kittle gets a bump. But Schefter tweeted this morning, all signs point to Christian McCaffrey playing Monday night in Minnesota. He returned to practice limited on Saturday. Feels great. I will go as far as to say I would wear a Phillies hat, which is not something I want to do. I would wear a Phillies hat if McCaffrey isn't out there on Monday night. So if you're making decisions this morning and you want to ride dirty, I think you can ride dirty. I don't think you even need a cover for McCaffrey. I think he's going to be out there. And so I would expect him. I will say this. I think Elijah Mitchell is okay as a flex. I think he's going to get the majority of the backup work. Last week you'd say, why is that? Jordan Mason got all the work. Elijah Mitchell had like one practice. So the team's comments about him and what he's earned, I think you could flex him in an emergency. So there you go. I think Schefter, McCaffrey, or the report from Schefter, I think McCaffrey will be out there. Kareem Hunt is in. Craig Reynolds is in. Get ready, Brooks. I mean, this should be Jahmyr Gibbs doing everything. So get ready for Craig Reynolds, apparently. No, I don't have any confidence to play Craig Reynolds this week. It's the Ravens defense. They're stout. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, the passing game, he's your guy to play. with Montgomery out officially. Roschon Johnson is out. 2 weeks missed due to the concussion. People want to know about Deonta Foreman. I think he's in play. I think he's a flex. The offense is the problem. Because when you get in these situations with backup quarterbacks, you end up with 3 and out and not a lot of opportunity. And you start begging for first downs because maybe Foreman gets the first carry of the first down and then he's rotating out with Evans. So very risky play there. Very risky. Aaron Jones expected to make his return. That's exciting. Zach Charbonnet questionable. It's wheels up for, it always was. You're going to have Walker out there no matter what, but he could have a monster game against Arizona. Jeff Wilson's making his return. Sunday Night Football. I don't know if I've looked forward to a Sunday Night Football game like this in a long time, Brooks.
Yeah, that one's.
Miami, Philly.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I hope we don't get disappointed, but I don't think we will be. I think it's going to be a good one. So Jeff Wilson, that's, Brooks, I'm going to toss it to you. If you're looking at Elijah Mitchell on Monday Night Football or Jeff Wilson coming back from IR, are those in the same category?
Oh, man.
I'd probably play Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, me too. That's how I was
because Salvin Ahmed last week had a good game. Achan's been having good games. All right, the big mess. We don't have a button for the big mess. Welcome to the Los Angeles Rams backfield. In our league of record, somebody spent 96, 98 fab, whole budget on Zach Evans. I was not – I had Kyron at that time, and I was not going in on Zach Evans. I had the heebie-jeebies. And now we have reports confirming this morning that it's going to be Royce and Darrell Henderson. Darnell Anderson as well in the mix. But this is – look, teams value experience with the system and third downs and blocking and – the team came out and said Royce Freeman's been waiting for his opportunity. I think the team wants it to be Darrell Henderson. I think that's where the team is headed for the next few weeks because Kyron Williams, if you didn't hear, he's on IR. And so he's not eligible to return until after week 12, which is a long time from now in fantasy football years. That's a few years from now. And I think they want Darrell to be able to just step right back in there. And Zach Evans, I think he gets – we all said we'd take early in the week. We'd say we'd take under 8 fantasy points. I think it's 5 opportunities. So Zach Evans is not in play for me, and I don't think those other guys are worth the shot this week. It's too scary. They play Pittsburgh. If I was choosing one to take a shot on today, it would be Royce. But if it's moving forward, it would be Darrell. And I know Mr. Jason Moore picked up Darrell for no fab the day after Zach Evans went for 96, which is insane. All right, let me blitz the rest of these. DK Metcalf, game time decision. I think he'll play. It's the afternoon game. We only have 6 morning games. I think Metcalf plays. I think JSN is a sneaky flex. I'm going on record. What you smiling at over there, Brooks? Any other things coming through?
No.
Okay. Just making sure you don't have some secret information for everybody. Alec Pierce in. Who cares? Deebo Samuel out. Juju out. Justin Watson out. Mecole Hardman makes his debut back on the Chiefs and should be returning kicks at least. Hunter Henry's playing. Kylan Granson out. Pat Freiermuth IR. Greg Dulcich IR. Anything else break in the last 15 minutes of that tirade?
Nothing else broke. Here's what I was smiling about. I did find the big mess drop.
No, we do not have a big mess drop.
I found it. Yeah, this one.
Number 2.
Oh, that's a big mess. Yeah, that's a bad bull drop right there. 6 morning games. It's bipocalypse. A lot of the a lot of decisions to be made, and then these backfields that have these messy running back rooms. All of a sudden you're looking at James Cook and those players that were really, in timeshares, and you're saying, at least I have them. So, all right, if we don't have anything else, let's see what people are talking about.
He's so hot right now.
Oh, hey, my voice went away. Brooks.
I'm glad we're back because I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Yeah, that would have been fun. That would have been like, he's so hot right now. Goodbye. Brooks, what do we have? What are the biggest questions for the week that I'm going to have to answer?
Well, it's awesome. The number one search was actually Royce or Henderson, so you answered
Oh.
that basically. You talked about that situation.
They're both RB3 candidates. this week.
Avoid if at all possible.
Avoid if possible, yeah.
What about one of those guys versus Craig Reynolds, someone like at that level?
Yeah, Craig Reynolds being active after a week of limited and reduced practice work, it's concerning to me. I think Reynolds has the potential to give you a surprise game, but again, it's Baltimore. And I think this game is going to be won through the air. So Craig Reynolds, I guess I'd play Royce and then maybe Reynolds and Henderson. I mean, they're all in the same category of look away.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, let's get Foreman in the mix there. He's actually the most popular player
In the start sit?
Yes, Deonta Foreman, 15 for 65 on the ground last week. People are a little disappointed. Would you play him or Zach Moss versus the Browns?
Yeah, I'd probably play Moss, and I don't have great conviction there. I mean, Deonta Foreman's work came in the second half, the majority of it. In fact, to start the game, snap counts were like 13-13 between him and Darrington Evans. You are at home in a low over-under 38.5 points with a backup quarterback from the Shire. And I don't love that situation. I think the Raiders are going to jump all over that defense, and that's going to put them in a position to just have very low value opportunities for Foreman. So, yeah, that's a really tough one. He is going to get some work in this game, and your touches are everything, but that's tough.
I'll keep putting him to the test there. Foreman or one of the Broncos running backs.
I'd play both Broncos running backs over Deonta Foreman.
Ooh, okay.
Including Jaleel, yeah.
And then how about the Steelers running backs? Both of them are up there too.
Why do you have to talk these dirty things? Yeah, I'd play both. I'd play both Steelers running backs
Okay.
over
That says a lot. I think
over
that's
Foreman.
Okay.
Yeah, and they play the Rams. They're at home, 44-point over/under. Yeah, when you look at the box score, Foreman wasn't that bad. He had a couple plays he almost broke off. I didn't even understand what they were doing in the second half with him. The game was like out of hand, and they just kept handing him the football. Yeah, I guess if they do that again, you're gonna be happy you played him, but it's messy.
Last Foreman one, you're probably going to take a chance with Jeff Wilson in a high-scoring game
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah, I am, and I think Jeff Wilson's been ready to go for a couple weeks. I think it's kind of last week they could have gotten him out there. Took another week, so yeah, I'll take Jeff Wilson in a much more exciting game. Not to mention, I mean, like one thing to consider in fantasy is that if you're in a matchup and you have a later start for a guy like that. I don't know if you have a Monday Night Football player or another Sunday night player, but you can, with more information, make a judgment call. So, like, you may have a big lead, and or you may be down by a bunch, and that might pivot you from, Wilson to Elijah Mitchell or something like that, where you need more upside. So you get more information if you start the later guy, but I lean Wilson there. Questions are coming through furiously, Brooks.
All right, one more. Let's get a couple more
You got a couple
popular.
more? Okay.
Yeah. This comes up every week. Tyler Lockett or Zay Flowers. Lockett versus Cardinals. Flowers versus Lions. And then the Metcalf questionable situation.
Yeah, you can't run on the Lions. And Zay Flowers has had some opportunities. The drops. He did score last week. I lean. It's like a slight lean on the Flowers side. But Lockett's set up against Arizona. If Metcalf didn't play, I would definitely be on the Lockett side.
All right, let's go to the people, Andy.
All right, let's do it.
Start 'em, sit 'em.
Just sit them all. Don't start anybody. All right, the questions coming in. Albert, Dirty Undies pick. He says, Najee, Jaylen Warren, or my name is Jeff. I would go Jaylen Warren. Jeff Wilson, Najee, in that order. Blazing Bowman, Jeff Wilson, or Josh Downs. You know, Minshew has thrown the ball 44 and 55 times. Thank you. So, over the last 2 weeks. So I think Josh Downs has a higher floor, lower ceiling than Jeff Wilson. Keontae Ingram or Royce Freeman, I'm going to go with Royce Freeman. Keontae Ingram's not that good of a football player. His over-under on the DraftKings Sportsbook for rushing yardage is 38 yards. So if you are looking at 38 yards in a timeshare with Damian Williams and DeMarcado, then you should be looking for something else. A lot of Jeff Wilson popping in, though. I wouldn't be overly enthusiastic to try to force him into your lineup today. But people are, there's a lot of buys. So I don't blame you for wanting to get him in there. They will not give Mostert every carry. That just will not happen. And when we saw Jeff Wilson return last year, when they traded for him and brought him in, like this became a 50-50 split, and you would flip a coin as to who would have the better day. Now, Mostert's having a huge year, so he's still going to lead that. But Gibbs or James Cook, question from Liam. It's Gibbs. You have to shoot for the moon here. We're seeing snap counts go down for James Cook, pass rush getting to Josh Allen, Latavius Murray taking snaps that make you want to pull your hair out. Judy or Dotson? This is in the disgusting question of the week category, Brooks. It's Judy. Dotson, don't get me started. Very disappointed in that situation, and it was a whiff. Stafford or Love? And this person, Maria, has Cooper Kupp. I would, that's enough to give me the stack. I would go stack there. Brooks is nodding. You like that stack, right?
Oh, it's so fun.
Give me that stack. All right, Jack wants to know Moss or Madison. Give me the Madison touches. Give me them. It's against San Francisco, but Madison's looked okay, which is saying something. Scary Terry or Rashee Rice? Crunch wants to know. That's one where I'm going to go Scary Terry. I'm a little worried about the hype around Rashee Rice getting out of control. This is a guy playing under 50% of snaps. So what that means for a player is the few touches and opportunities they have to be big. And if they don't happen, if he drops a pass, if he gets dragged down into 5, if it's a couple short yardage, like they have packages, and if those big plays don't go for big yards, which they might, I'm not saying they won't, but you're gonna be watching the game and not seeing him on the field for half the time, and that's tough. And I think that there's a chance that changes. Maybe it's this week. Bringing in McCole Hardman doesn't help because he's going to be in the mix for some snaps at some point. But yeah, I'm going to go guaranteed touches there. All right, let's take a look here. I'm scrolling the chat, and a lot of attention seekers in this chat. Brooks, did you know that?
How's that? Emojis or
a
all
lot,
caps?
yeah. I mean, just a lot of that. Rice or JSN. Now that's a fun one, and I'm gonna go with my kind of surprise pick of the week. I'm gonna go JSN this week. I think he's getting healthy. I think he's gonna have opportunity, and I think the Cardinals are gonna get their butts kicked, which is a good recipe. My voice is getting deeper over the course of the show, Brooks. I don't know what's happening. I'm losing it. I'm losing my voice. I'm going to be full Barry White at the end. There are some people mad about this Zach Evans situation. And I don't blame you if you spent the fab. All right, Adam, Cooper or Hollywood Brown? Geesh. I'm going to go Amari Cooper. I'm going to take the wide receiver that is favored this week. I like Hollywood, but there's the chance that Arizona, with a team implied point total of 17.5, they just get shut down. I mean, that can happen. And we saw that air yards does not equal fantasy production last week. You had 193 air yards for Hollywood that ended up with 30-something, 40-something yards. So I like both players, but that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the favorite. And Cooper looked great. Cooper still looks great. Comes down with so many contested catches. Geno or Goff? Ooh, That's a tough one. I'm going to take the Geno Smith situation there. Goff's been really good, but like Seattle's expected to score 27 points against Arizona, and Goff's at 20, and I am worried that they're going to get a little shut down this week. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but that's the direction I'm going to go. Here's a fun one, Brooksy. Fantasy 123 says Kittle or Goddard. Goddard in that big Sunday night matchup. Kittle likely getting some more work. Minnesota. Do you have a way you lean there, Brooksy? That's a tough one. If you have both players.
Barely Kittle.
I'm barely Goddard.
Yeah.
I'd play the one that scores more fantasy points. Whoever that is.
Kittle.
You think it's Kittle? Or are you just trying to will that into existence for your dynasty team?
It's more that.
Okay. Yeah. I think Kittle could have a very big game. And I think it's a bounce back game for Purdy. So I see some Purdy in the chat, and I think there's a good chance he bounces back. Watson or Love? Oh boy. Matchup's great for Jordan Love. I'm gonna on the off chance that Sean Watson gets knocked out of that game, I'm gonna play Jordan Love. And you got some explosive plays from Christian Watson, despite the horse collar. I think we're looking at Jordan Love differently if he gets in there and they win that ball game. Still deeper, Brooks. Let's see. Let me grab one of the more recent questions here. Daniel Dobbs, Downs, Curtis Samuel in a PPR. I'll take Downs. Might be a hot take. I don't know. Better stash candidate. Steven wants to know Judy or JSN. JSN is my answer to that one. Lamar or Brock Purdy? Let's not get cute. Lamar Jackson's the answer there. Godwin or London from Gene in a PPR? I'm going to go London. That's shocking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Godwin's not what he was. He's very start worthy, but he's not what he was. Deontay Johnson's coming back. We didn't talk about that, right? I mean, he's back off the IR. So that's big news for Kenny Pickett and trying to move that offense. Deontay or Rashee Rice? I'd play Deontay. I think he's healthy, ready to go. Man, there's so many Rice questions, Brooks. Rashee Rice. Look, I'd love him to break out. I mean, Jason was dead on about Rashee Rice. Like Sky Moore isn't it. Rice is a very good player after the catch. And that's good for an Andy Reid offense. McCole Hardman is not a good player. He's like totally mediocre. And yet he had games because Andy Reid puts his playmakers in a position to succeed. So, yeah, I hope Rice breaks out, but I'm not ready to just lock it. He's not a lock into your lineup. Like Rice or Jameson Williams, I'd play Rice there. Jameson Williams got 9 snaps or something. 9% of snaps. Aaron Jones or Saquon? I'm going Saquon. Dart throw question from Gustavo. Ritter, Tyrod, or Russell Wilson? I'll take Russell. Yeah. I was scared the first two, but then you brought Russell, and I'm like, all right, I'll take that. Jonathan Taylor or James Cook from Matthew? I think Taylor is the answer. You feel like James Cook has to really luck into a touchdown at this point. He's got one on the year. So, look, they didn't throw him the ball last week. It's depressing, Brooks. I'm depressed about it.
He had a nice run going for those last 2 weeks.
Can I be honest with you?
Let's hear it.
I shipped him off.
Oh.
I traded him.
What'd you get?
I traded James Cook and I traded Garrett Wilson on the bye for Josh Jacobs.
Oh, that's fun.
So it was a little risky.
And is that the league of record?
League of record, yeah.
So Wilson
was
a potential keeper for you.
Yeah, he was on the bye, and I love him. I love Garrett Wilson, but I'm trying to buy a week. I'm facing a juggernaut, and nobody's getting more touches than Josh Jacobs right now. All right, a couple more, and then we're going to shut this down. Get ready for the games. Laporta or Musgrave? You go Laporta there. Logan Thomas or Kyle Pitts? That one's tougher. Because just know that whatever you do there, it will be the wrong decision. But I guess I'm back on the Logan Thomas train for a week. I'm going to stick with what I think his role in the offense is. Pitts has been better, so I don't blame you if you want to just stay, like the past 2 weeks. If you want to stay there. Deshaun Watson or Stafford, I'll go Stafford. Give Watson a week if you can. McLaurin or Metcalf. Metcalf is banged up. What's the McLaurin matchup? It's the Giants, right? Giants defense looked good.
Yeah, and that's the earlier game, too, where Metcalf is game-time decision later game.
Yeah, I think you probably have to just play McLaurin. But that's tough. All right, give me one more, Brooks. Do you have the chat open? If not, I can grab one.
I don't.
Okay, I'll grab one final. Jerome Ford or Javonte Williams, I'm going to take. Who do you think I'm going to take, Brooks?
Ford.
I'm going to take Ford, yeah. That is going to do it. We good, Brooksy? No other breaking news we need to tell people about?
No, sir.
And if you join late, Mike's puppy is in good shape. Mike is in good shape, and he'll be back here next week with you. Thank you for joining me for Sunday Live. Definitely check us out on X at the FF Ballers. Enjoy the week. Good luck, everybody. Take care.